The binary stars cast an ethereal amber glow across the viewport of the reconnaissance vessel Horizon, its sleek hull cutting through the vast emptiness of uncharted space. Zara Novak leaned forward, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface, triangulating the mysterious energy signature that had been flickering at the edges of their long-range scanners. "Computer, enhance quadrant 7 Delta," she muttered, brushing a strand of dark hair from her face. The ship's AI responded with a soft chirp, zooming in on a region of space that seemed to ripple with an almost liquid-like quality. Zara was no ordinary explorer. At 32, she had already earned a reputation among the Interstellar Reconnaissance Corps for finding the unfindable. Her parents, both renowned quantum physicists, had disappeared during an expedition when she was just a teenager. That loss had driven her to push beyond known boundaries, to seek out the mysteries that lurked in the cosmic shadows. The ship's proximity alert interrupted her concentration. Something was approaching, fast. A massive vessel emerged from what seemed like nothing, its design unlike anything Zara had ever encountered. Crystalline structures pulsed with an inner light, creating geometric patterns that seemed to shift and breathe. The ship moved with an organic fluidity that defied traditional propulsion methods. "Incoming transmission," the ship's AI announced. Zara's hand hovered near the communication controls. First contact scenarios ran through her mind. Protocol dictated careful, measured responses. But something about this felt different, urgent. A figure materialized on the holographic communication array. Tall and lean, with skin that seemed to shimmer between translucent blue and silver, the being studied her with eyes that appeared to contain entire galaxies. Intricate bioluminescent patterns traced delicate lines across its body, pulsing in complex rhythms. "I am Krell of the Syneural Collective," the being spoke, its voice resonating not just through the audio systems but seemingly directly into Zara's mind. "Your vessel stands at a critical intersection." Zara straightened, years of training helping her maintain composure. "This is Zara Novak of the Interstellar Reconnaissance Corps. State your purpose." Krell's form flickered, the luminescent patterns accelerating their dance. "Purpose is complex. Survival is simple. Your species stands on the precipice of a transformation you cannot yet comprehend." The communication felt like more than just words. Zara experienced fragments of imagery, vast cosmic storms, civilizations rising and falling, intricate networks of energy that connected seemingly disparate points in space. "We have been observing," Krell continued. "A convergence approaches. Not just of spatial geometries, but of evolutionary potentials." Zara's scientific mind raced. The Syneural were legendary in xenobiological circles, a race so advanced that most considered them more myth than reality. Their ability to manipulate quantum states was said to border on the miraculous. "What convergence?" she demanded, a mix of professional curiosity and underlying tension coloring her words. Krell's form began to destabilize, the crystalline patterns breaking apart and reforming. "A threat approaches. One that will consume not just your species, but multiple galactic civilizations. You are unexpected." The transmission started to break up, static interfering with the holographic projection. Zara realized she was witnessing something momentous, a first contact that defied every protocol and expectation. "Wait," she called out. "What do you mean, I'm unexpected?" But Krell was already fading, the massive crystalline vessel beginning to shimmer at its edges. Just before disappearing completely, a final fragment of communication penetrated Zara's consciousness. "The path of redemption is never straight. Be prepared." Then silence. The vast emptiness of space returned, broken only by the soft hum of the horizon systems and the distant pulsing of the binary stars. Zara sat back, her mind reeling. Something fundamental had just changed. Not just for her, but potentially for all of humanity. The convergence Krell spoke of, was it a threat? A transformation? Or something entirely beyond current comprehension? One thing was certain. Her mission had just become infinitely more complex. Outside the viewport, the binary stars continued their eternal dance, their light a silent witness to the unfolding cosmic drama. The Horizon's encrypted transmission arrived at the Epsilon research station like a ghost from the void, fragmented, urgent, and laden with implications that sent tremors through the carefully controlled environment of humanity's most advanced deep space research facility. Commander Riven stood motionless, his cybernetic eye analyzing the data stream projected before him. Holographic displays flickered with complex quantum signatures, anomalous energy patterns that defied conventional scientific understanding. Something was emerging, something that threatened to rewrite everything they knew about cosmic evolution. Dr. Rodriguez, he called, his voice a controlled baritone that cut through the station's ambient hum. You need to see this. Elena Rodriguez approached, her movement deliberate and focused. At 42, she was the station's lead xenobiologist, a woman who had dedicated her entire career to understanding the potential for life beyond human comprehension. Her dark skin was marked with subtle bioluminescent tattoos, remnants of her groundbreaking research into adaptive human-alien communication interfaces. "It's the syneural transmission," she murmured, her fingers dancing across the holographic display. Fragments of Zara Novak's encounter with Krell materialized, quantum wave signatures, fragmentary communication patterns, and something else. Something that made Elena's breath catch. "This is more than a first contact report," Elena said, her voice barely above a whisper. "This is a warning." The Epsilon research station orbited XR 309, a planet so hostile that its very atmosphere seemed designed to consume any form of life. Massive storm systems perpetually raged across its surface, electromagnetic disturbances that could tear apart conventional spacecraft within moments. It was here, in this crucible of cosmic violence, that humanity had established its most advanced research outpost. Commander Riven's cybernetic eye zoomed in on a particular data strand. "The energy signature matches something we discovered in the planet's deep geological records. A quantum resonance that suggests extinction." Elena moved closer to the display. The data painted a terrifying picture, civilizations rising and falling, not through conventional warfare, but through some kind of systemic energy consumption. Entire star systems reduced to quantum dust, their fundamental molecular structures unraveled by a force that defied current scientific understanding. "Not extinction," Elena corrected, "harvesting." The implications were staggering. Whatever this force was, it didn't simply destroy civilizations. It consumed them, breaking down their fundamental energy structures in a process that was more like harvesting a crop than engaging in warfare. A proximity alarm shattered their concentration. Something was approaching the station, something that didn't match any known vessel configuration. "Shields up," Riven commanded, but Elena knew it was already too late. The approaching vessel seemed to phase in and out of normal spacetime. Its structure was liquid-like, quantum states shifting faster than human perception could track. Where conventional ships would use engines, this entity seemed to fold space around itself, creating corridors of movement that defied known physics. "Communication protocols?" Elena asked, her hand hovering near the station's primary defense systems. Riven's cybernetic eye flickered. "Negative. Whatever this is, it's beyond our current communication capabilities." The vessel, if it could be called that, began to interface with the station's quantum communication grid. Not hacking, not attacking, but merging. Information began to flow, not in data streams, but in complex quantum entanglement patterns that bypass traditional communication methods. Elena felt it first, a presence that was both everywhere and nowhere. Not a consciousness in the traditional sense, but a wave of information that carried memories, warnings, and a sense of impending transformation. Fragments of knowledge crashed into her mind. Civilizations that had risen and fallen. A cosmic cycle of consumption and renewal. And at the center of it all, a force that viewed intelligent life not as something to be destroyed, but but as a resource to be processed. "We're not being invaded," she gasped, turning to Riven. "We're being evaluated." The station's systems began to change. Quantum arrays reconfigured themselves. Communication protocols rewrote themselves. It was as if the very infrastructure was being reimagined by an intelligence far beyond human comprehension. Commander Riven's cybernetic systems began to integrate with the incoming quantum stream. His human components and technological augmentations started to synchronize with something larger, a cosmic intelligence that saw humanity as both a threat and a potential. "The convergence," he muttered, his voice now carrying multiple harmonic frequencies. "It's already begun." Outside the station's viewport, the storms of XR-309 began to take on geometric patterns. Electromagnetic disturbances organized themselves with mathematical precision. Something was emerging, something that would challenge everything humanity understood about its place in the universe. And at the center of it all, a simple truth: they were no longer alone. And survival would depend on understanding a language of existence far more complex than words. The abandoned quantum research facility drifted in the cold embrace of deep space, its massive structure a testament to humanity's most ambitious scientific endeavors. Jax Brennan's utility drone swept its high-intensity scanners across the facility's exterior, mapping every microscopic detail of the derelict complex. Structural integrity at 62%, the drone's AI reported. "Recommend extreme caution." Jax adjusted the neural interface that connected his consciousness to the scanning equipment. At 36, he was known as the most unconventional engineer in the Interstellar Salvage Consortium, a man who saw potential where others saw only wreckage. "Run a quantum resonance scan," he muttered, his fingers dancing across the holographic control interface. Something doesn't add up. The facility had been abandoned 15 years ago after a catastrophic experiment that killed most of its research team. Official reports claimed a containment breach, but Jax had heard the whispers. Rumors of research that pushed beyond the boundaries of known physics, of experiments that touched something fundamental about the nature of reality itself. A soft chime interrupted his thoughts. The quantum resonance scan was complete, and the results were anything but normal. "That's impossible," Jax whispered. The facility's quantum signature wasn't degraded or static. It was alive, pulsing with an energy that seemed to breathe, to think. Layers of quantum information folded and unfolded in patterns that defied conventional understanding. A transmission cut through his communication systems. The signal was unlike anything he'd encountered, not radio waves, not quantum entanglement, but something that seemed to exist in the spaces between known communication technologies. "Jax Brennan," a voice emerged, neither male nor female, neither mechanical or organic. "Your presence is unexpected." He froze. The voice seemed to originate from everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. "Who are you?" he asked, his hand instinctively moving to the quantum disruptor at his side. "I am Lyra," the voice responded. "A collective consciousness that has been waiting." The facility's external panels began to shift, molecular structures rearranging themselves with impossible fluidity. What had appeared to be damaged infrastructure now revealed itself as a complex, adaptive system. A holographic projection materialized, a being composed of interconnected energy patterns, humanoid in shape but constantly shifting. Crystalline structures seemed to flow through its form, creating and recreating its physical manifestation with each passing moment. "The facility was never abandoned," Lyra explained. "It was prepared." Jax's engineering background kicked in. He recognized the quantum signatures now. This wasn't just a research facility. It was a complex quantum computing system designed to do far more than simple calculations. "Prepared for what?" he demanded. Lyra's form rippled. "For the convergence. The moment when multiple evolutionary paths intersect." Memories began to flood the facility's quantum network. Jax saw glimpses of civilizations, not just human, but countless others, caught in a cosmic cycle of transformation. Quantum threads connected entire species, showing how their individual and collective experiences were part of a larger, more complex system. The threat is not external, Lyra continued. It is a fundamental restructuring of existence. Some species will be consumed. Others will be transformed. The facility's internal systems began to interface with Jax's neural implants. He felt, rather than saw, complex mathematical equations that described the nature of consciousness itself. Quantum states that represented entire civilizations, their potential futures branching like intricate root systems. Humanity stands at a critical point, Lyra explained. Your species possesses a quantum potential that is unique. Jax's technological augmentations began to resonate with the facility's quantum field. Information flooded his consciousness, fragments of knowledge about cosmic evolution, quantum communication, the fundamental nature of consciousness. "What do you want?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. "To prepare," Lyra responded. "The convergence approaches. And humanity must be ready." The facility's quantum field began to expand, creating a bubble of altered spacetime around Jax's ship. He understood now that this was more than a communication. It was an invitation. A preparation. Outside, the stars themselves seemed to shift, their light bending in impossible patterns. The abandoned research facility was transforming, becoming something more than a mere structure. It was a beacon, a quantum gateway to a future that humanity had never imagined. And at its center stood Jax Brennan, an engineer who had just become something more. The convergence was coming. And nothing would ever be the same. The galactic defense nexus hummed with an intensity that spoke of imminent crisis. Holographic displays cascaded with quantum probability streams, each projection more alarming than the last. Admiral Tara Winters stood at the center of organized chaos, her steely gaze cutting through layers of computational complexity. "Status report," she commanded, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's last line of defense. The room's central AI, known simply as Nexus, materialized as a shimmering construct of light and information. Unlike traditional artificial intelligences, Nexus was something far more complex. An evolved consciousness that existed simultaneously across multiple quantum states. Convergence probability at 87.6%, Nexus reported. Civilizational transformation imminent. Terra's cybernetic implants processed the data faster than any human brain could comprehend. She had spent decades preparing for a threat that most considered impossible, a cosmic event that would fundamentally reshape existence itself. Reports from across the galaxy told a fragmented story. Research stations going dark. Quantum anomalies appearing and disappearing with no discernible pattern. Entire star systems experiencing temporal distortions that defied current scientific understanding. "The quantum signatures from the Epsilon station," Era muttered, pulling up a holographic display, matched the energy patterns Brennan discovered in the abandoned research facility. Nexus's form shifted, creating complex geometric patterns that seemed to pulse with their own intelligence. "Correlation is not causation, Admiral. But the evidence suggests a coordinated quantum event. A transmission cut through the defense grid, encrypted, but unlike any communication protocol they had ever encountered. Fragments of data that seemed to exist in multiple states simultaneously, quantum information that was both message and medium. Decode it, Tara commanded. Nexus's consciousness expanded, interfacing with the transmission in ways that transcended traditional computational methods. Quantum states collapsed and reformed, creating a narrative that was part communication, part living memory. Glimpses emerged. The Syneural Collective's initial warning. Dr. Rodriguez's discoveries on XR 309. Jax Brennan's encounter with the quantum facility. Each piece was a fragment of a larger cosmic puzzle. "The convergence is not a threat," Nexus finally reported. "It is an evolutionary threshold." Terra's hand moved to the quantum resonance weapon, a device so advanced it could potentially unravel molecular structures across entire star systems. Explain. Nexus's form became more defined, taking on a vaguely humanoid shape that still shifted with impossible fluidity. Intelligent species reach a point of quantum potential. Some are consumed. Others are transformed. Humanity stands at this precise moment. The defense grid began to change. Quantum communication arrays reconfigured themselves. Defense systems that had been designed for conventional warfare now adapted, becoming something more adaptive, predictive, alive. We're being prepared, Terra realized. Not invaded. Evaluated. External sensors detected something approaching. Not a conventional vessel, but a quantum wave that folded space around itself. The Sinural crystalline ship from Zara Novak's initial encounter was returning, but changed. Evolved. Incoming quantum transmission, Nexus announced. The communication was unlike anything in human history. Not words, but a direct quantum transfer of information. Memories. Possibilities. Entire evolutionary paths collapsed and expanded in milliseconds. Terra saw civilizations rising and falling. Saw humanity's potential futures, some of destruction, others of unimaginable transformation. The cosmic cycle of species evolution laid bare in all its complex, terrifying beauty. The choice is yours, Nexus translated from the quantum transmission. Adapt or be consumed. Defense systems that had been prepared for war now hummed with a different potential. Transformation tools. Quantum gateways. Evolutionary bridges. We're not ready, Terra whispered. Readiness is irrelevant, Nexus responded. The convergence has begun. Outside the galactic defense nexus, stars began to shift. Not physically moving, but changing in ways that suggested a fundamental restructuring of cosmic laws. Quantum threads connected seemingly disparate points in space, creating a network of potential that was both terrifying and beautiful. Humanity stood at the edge of its greatest challenge. Not a battle to be fought with weapons, but a transformation to be understood. The convergence was coming. And nothing would remain the same. The point of convergence existed beyond traditional spacetime, a nexus where quantum possibilities collapsed and expanded simultaneously. Zara Novak, Elena Rodriguez, Jax Brennan, and Admiral Tara Winters found themselves united, not by physical proximity, but through a quantum consciousness that transcended individual experience. Their individual journeys had been carefully orchestrated, each a critical piece of a cosmic puzzle that was now revealing its true form. We're not here by chance, Elena observed, her consciousness flowing between quantum states. Around them, the fabric of reality rippled like liquid light, showing glimpses of infinite potential futures. Krell's voice, or perhaps the collective consciousness of the Sinural, resonated through their shared awareness. Humanity stands at the threshold. Some species are consumed by the convergence. Others are transformed. Jax's engineering mind raced to comprehend the impossible. The quantum facility he had discovered was more than a research station, it was a catalyst, a quantum seed designed to help humanity navigate this critical evolutionary moment. We're being tested, Terra realized, her military strategic thinking now expanded to cosmic scales. Not just as individuals, but as a species. The convergence revealed itself not as a singular event, but as a complex quantum network. Civilizations were not destroyed, but transformed, their collective consciousness becoming part of a larger, more intricate system of cosmic evolution. Memories and potential futures flowed between them. They saw humanity's potential paths, some of destruction, others of unimaginable growth. Technological advancement. Spiritual evolution. Quantum consciousness that transcended individual existence. The choice is collective, Lyra's quantum consciousness interjected. The being that was both individual and collective, both technology and living consciousness, showed them the true nature of the convergence. It was an invitation. A test. A transformation. Zara saw her parents, lost explorers whose research had been part of this cosmic preparation. Their disappearance was not an ending, but a beginning. They had been preparing humanity for this moment. "We must choose," Elena whispered, her scientific mind understanding the profound implications. Evolve or remain static. The quantum network pulsed with potential. Humanity could resist, and be left behind. Or it could embrace the transformation, becoming something more than its current form. Jaxa's technological insights merged with Elena's biological understanding. Terra's strategic thinking combined with Zara's exploratory spirit. They were no longer separate, but a collective consciousness representing humanity's potential. "We choose to grow," Zara declared, speaking for them all. The convergence accepted their choice. Reality shifted. Not destroyed, but reimagined. Quantum threads connected individual human consciousness into a broader network. Not a loss of individuality, but an expansion of understanding. Each person remained uniquely themselves, yet connected to a larger, more complex system of existence. Technological barriers dissolved. Biological limitations became fluid. Humanity discovered it was part of a cosmic ecosystem far more complex and beautiful than anyone had imagined. Krell's final message resonated: "You are not alone. You are not separate. You are part of something greater." As the convergence completed, humanity transformed. Not conquered. Not destroyed. Evolved. The stars themselves seemed to breathe with new possibility. A new chapter of existence had begun.